This is USL League One on ESPN Plus, presented by Health Brigade on this first Saturday in June. From City Stadium in Richmond, it's Richmond Kickers against the Pace Setters, North Texas SC, here in USL League One. I'm Matthew Aaron. It is a great pleasure to be with you on Pride Night from City Stadium in Virginia's capital. We have a very good game on hand for both of you. Could this perhaps be a playoff preview? Richmond started this week in fourth and now in fifth after the draw with FC Tucson and Orlando City B last night. They've lost their last two, though. Outscored 4-2. They have kept four clean sheets. North Texas, they're coming off their first loss on Wednesday, 3-2 at Toronto FC2. They have led the league in scoring and be as talented as any team in the league. There are plenty of goals in both of these starting 11s. We'll highlight with one of them for you. Here's Joe Guyardo, the 21-year-old from San Diego. He's got 4 goals this season for Richmond Kickers, leads the team. He's one of the players that David Bulow was telling us has so much that he can do to not only improve but push this team up the table. He's been one of the most talented scorers in League One, but one player in this game is doing better than him, and that would be North Texas's Ricardo Pepe, the 16-year-old. He does not even have a full driving license yet. In Texas, not allowed to, but he's got 6 goals in all of his USL League One games. This is 6 games, averaging more than a goal a game. He's coming off 3 goals as well for the US U17s as they qualified for the U17 World Cup later this year. He is absolutely a player to watch. Can he continue to put home the goals for the league leaders? This is going to be one of the most entertaining games of the USL League One weekend. In just a moment, we'll have the starting lineups and the kickoff for you from City Stadium here on ESPN Plus right after you watch this.
At CBS 6, our office is out here.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
There's a lot of people that are vulnerable that can't fight for themselves, and that's where I can have the most impact as an investigative reporter. I see the result of people being taken advantage of. It makes me feel sick. I actually like pouring through documents. I get super excited when you find something that can hold somebody accountable. I'm Melissa Hippolyte, and I'm working for you.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
This is USL League One on ESPN Plus, presented by Health Brigade. Richmond Kickers and North Texas SC. We're just about to get underway here from City Stadium on a beautiful June night. Temperatures in the 80s. Can't ask for better weather after the rain came through yesterday. Let's take a look at the starting 11s for both teams. First, for the home standing Kickers, we see right there getting ready to try to end their 2-game losing streak. They've had an interesting season, ups and downs, but they have quite a group going forward, including Joe Guyardo, who we just highlighted, Daniel Jackson, and Dennis Chin, who was once the USL Championship goal-scoring king. Also, Braden Troyer, one of the longest tenured Richmond Kickers, is starting at right back, and Acura Fitzgerald, of course, manning the sticks for the Richmond Kickers. For North Texas, the team that's just coming off their first loss, you got to watch out for Ricardo Pepe and Ronaldo Demis, the 2 up front. Also taking out 16-year-old Dante Seeley, number 31, line Abiku Vicente, also another Haitian in the lineup, and the 2 Rodriguezes in David and Arturo, both very creative midfielders who are going to man the center of the park for Eric Quill and North Texas SC. Great atmosphere on Pride Night here at City Stadium. Kickers coming in, 3 wins, and 4 draws and a couple of losses as well. It's unfortunate for them. Coming off those 2 losses, one against Greenville on the road and the other against Orlando City B. That was 11 days ago. North Texas SC, they're coming off their first loss on Wednesday against TFC2. They haven't played a ton of road games. They've been so good, of course, down at Toyota Stadium. Richmond in all red, all white with the red shorts for North Texas SC. Good crowd on hand on Pride Night tonight here at City Stadium. Our referee is Jasmine Peralta. And over with the 16-year-old Ricardo Pepe. And for those of you watching us on CBS 6 Extra in Richmond, very happy welcome to you, wherever you might be watching on this first Saturday of June. Ricardo Pepe and David Rodriguez will stand to kick this off. For the league leaders, North Texas SC, Richmond trying to get their way back into a playoff spot. There are 4 teams that have the same record, 3 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws in USL League One. It is going to be a scrap for the playoffs. And is this, the first meeting between these 2 sides could provide a lot of excitement, and we hope a lot of goals. And off we go. North Texas SC trying to respond for their first loss for Eric Quill and company. Richmond Kickers trying to end their 2-game losing streak themselves. A little bit of pressure early at the back with this high press from North Texas SC. That's something that Eric Quill, a former Project 40, which is now Generation Adidas, player was telling us about. He's been involved in FC Dallas's academy for so long and has done so much with this group that his players no older than 23. Should be a fun one tonight here. City Stadium, great atmosphere. The Richmond Kicker supporters always in good voice. Wahab Akwe, Ghanaian, is going to let this roll out for a goal kick with Ricardo Pepe on his back shoulder. Akwe has an assist and has now played in 9 games. Has started 9, of course, as well as 1 in the U.S. Open Cup. Acura Fitzgerald, number 1, who was once in the books of New York City FC, North Carolina FC as well. There's a foul in the build-up off the goal kick, making his 10 starts one of the best goalkeepers in USL League One. 4 clean sheets, 29 saves coming in for the Japanese keeper. Now Richmond will try to build from the back, and they give it away. Already a flying start, and now Fitzgerald has to come off his line and claim that, which he does. Richmond are going to try to play out the back. They want to have possession. David Bullo has talked with us about keeping possession, playing intelligently, but right now that high press from North Texas SC. A lot of energy, though. They will have a test in how much energy do they have in reserve after playing on Wednesday, where Richmond has had 11 days off. Going up to try to win that was Dennis Chin, the Jamaican forward. Picked up here by Joe Guyardo, trying to run against Bissant. And that was stepped into well by Jonathan Gomez, the left back. Richmond getting a little bit more into this game. This is Scott Thompson from Brick, New Jersey, formerly of New York Rebels, 2 in the former Virginia Cavalier. This is Josh Hughes into the penalty area. Decent cross. And it was his highest ever recipient as Kevin Bonilla was able to hook that clear. The defender from Dallas, another one of the many members of this North Texas SC group that is a part of the academy setup for FC Dallas that has been so prolific over the years of developing players. Now they're producing plenty of pros, and plenty of them you're going to see highlighted tonight. Gomez will throw it in. Second start for Jonathan Gomez. And all the way back to Carlos Aviles. Called a couple of times to U20 Mexico national team camps. Born in Dallas. He's Bissant from Cap Haitien in Haiti. Third start for Bissant. He's played now in every game. Akwe will go out wide. Here for Braden Troyer, one of the longest tenured kickers, one of the few that has actually played with head coach David Bullo when he was a player for the Kickers earlier this decade. Players who absolutely knows the system. All the way back from Aviles, who will boot along. This is a team in North Texas that has so much attacking flair, so much intelligence, skill on the ball. You're going to see some great attacking play. And remember, these are all kids. Some of these players are not yet 18. It's incredible to think what they've done at 6-1-1 in USL League One, though they haven't played a ton of road games yet. That's where a lot of their tests are going to come in. This is the first of 3 meetings between these 2 clubs. July 13th will be the next time these two teams play here at City Stadium. They'll meet in Frisco in September. Ricardo Pepe would have been onside, but stepping in to clean up is Ivan Magliez, the Brazilian defender, formerly of Maryland Terrapins, also was a MLS Super Draft pick of the Houston Dynamo. It's a hand to the face there. And his chin, it looked like, and he's a little bit slow to get up, and Jasmine Peralta has whistled for a free kick. There is Dennis Chin. Doesn't look any worse for the wear from Kingston. Going to be turning 32 years old this coming week, on Tuesday, in fact, formerly of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, among others. Maxi Rodriguez is dispossessed by David Rodriguez. He's trying to charge ahead. Troyer comes back, and it's a throw-in for the visitors. North Texas SC have scored the most goals in USL League One this season, 17 of them. Ricardo Pepe has 6, but they have plenty of options to score. It's a team that has no problems moving forward and interchanging quickly, and that is going to be a free kick against Charles Boateng, another one of the Ghanaian contingent here for Richmond Kickers. Boateng on loan from Wafa SC in Ghana. Had that 4-goal game in that game against Virginia United in the U.S. Open Cup, I should say. On the ground there is Hughes trying to win it back, and he does. This is Thompson now. Good movement here for Richmond Kickers. Chin dropping a little bit deeper through the lines. That was Boateng. Thompson on the deck, tried to get it to the edge of the penalty area, but it was intercepted by David Rodriguez. He tries to play in Ricardo Pepe, who's onside. Pepe running against Magliez. Pepe 1v1. Ricardo Pepe and Magliez stuck true to his task and still did, and gives up a throw, but that's good defending from the Brazilian defender. Ricardo Pepe has a lot of tricks he can bring out. Magliez did well to close off that angle. This is Arturo Rodriguez. He and David, two brothers, and that's given away a free kick against Kevin Menino, the right back, by Joe Guyardo. So great free kick position here for North Texas. And one of the things that Eric Quill was talking about is no matter how good this team is and has been through open play, he wants to see better from set pieces. He wants to see that nous develop. In those little physical battles, you have to win to be professionals. And that is something that he wants to see more of, and he might get a chance to see here. It's going to be David Rodriguez to take this with his left foot, so it'll be in swinging towards Acura Fitzgerald in the back post. Plenty of players huddled around the penalty spot. The service is over the head of everyone and out for a goal kick. Not quite what David Rodriguez was hoping for there. He just overhit it. 17 years old, David Rodriguez. For the U16 group last year, scored 10 goals. Also one of the Dallas Cup All-Stars team. And here is that free kick once again. It's just too deep. You're going to see better service in this game from the North Texas group than that, I can assure you. Richmond trying to knock it down. Having trouble doing so. It's intercepted by Magliez, and he'll play it back to Troyer. Troyer trying to look long for Chin. Was able to hold up play well there against Bonilla. Chin still. Might have gotten a little lucky with that bounce against Arturo Rodriguez. Under pressure, Maxi Rodriguez, no relation to the two Rodriguezes for North Texas. Akwe. Rodriguez will play at Troyer. The 25-year-old of South Carolina. Rodriguez forced to go back for Akwe. Akwe starting in his 9th game. Has some work to do here. Charging ahead. Maxi Rodriguez tried to slice that on for Chin. He's able to drag his way there around Bonilla. Good skill from the veteran Chin. Thompson has room to cross this. He does. It goes through everyone. Gomez tried to get his head to it. He did not. Throw in for the kickers. It might have taken a nick, in fact, of him and one of the other white shirts in the way. It was in the 10th minute. No real great chances yet to speak of for these two. Rather cheaply, the kickers give up possession there. Richmond have started out this game with about 63% possession. That's something David Bulow wants. He wants his teams to have as much possession as possible to dominate the game. From that respect, it's going to be hard to do against a team like North Texas, who does well at dominating possession themselves. But it's a good start here. And Maxi Rodriguez just gets away after that loose pass came from Troyer. High pressure here from Boateng. David Rodriguez trying to work his way through Daniel Jackson. Richmond's number 9. Maxi Rodriguez takes it away. All the way back here for Fitzgerald. Arturo Rodriguez is the one pressing at the moment. That's given away again very cheaply in midfield there by Jackson. David Rodriguez looking for some options. Didn't have many. Bissant was the intended recipient of that. Spaces were too tight. Akwe moving forward, along with Boateng, a couple of Ghanaians. That's going to be pulled back for a free kick there against North Texas. Boateng had his shirt pulled just a little bit. Comes all the way through. Here's Thompson. You get his cross right here. It's a better service. It's headed up, but not away by North Texas. Still the second time of asking. Halfway back and forward. Guyardo. Boateng. Down the line. Guyardo ran into Bissant. That's a dangerous challenge by Alpha Sani Jata, the Gambian defender. North Texas not assured clearing from the back as of yet. Although here's Ronaldo Damas, another one of the Haitian forwards trying to break through. He scored on Wednesday but loses out. Maxi Rodriguez. Boateng is hacked down at the edge of the penalty area. Asman Peralta saw nothing wrong with that challenge. Walkway once again for Troyer. Boateng's cross. Speared away by Cesar Murillo, center back. Good stepped over by Hughes. Trying to bring Thompson in the attack. Cross towards the back post is too deep for Guyardo, and that is a goal kick. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Still looking for goals, still looking for chances at City Stadium here on this first Saturday in June. The league leaders, North Texas SC, coming off their first loss against Richmond Kickers, who, if things ended today, would find themselves outside the playoffs based on the FC Tucson Orlando City beat draw last night. I'm Matthew Aaron. It is a pleasure to be with you on ESPN Plus and CBS 6 Extra in Richmond. Warm welcome to those of you watching there. Chin trying to win that header. Chanta stepped up. Now goes David Rodriguez. And now North Texas are exposed a little bit. Maxi Rodriguez moving in for Guyardo. Boateng. 1v2, and he ran into a Game Gomez. Stuck out a leg and won the ball back cleanly. Tries to push up this left side for North Texas. Still trying to get a foothold in this game. They have a throw. Texas just took the league like a house of fire. First game against Mendes said Ricardo Pepe, of course, had a hat trick. A great way to mark your professional debut, and it turned out to be an indication of what we would see from North Texas the rest of the way. They had that one draw at Lansing Ignite a couple of weeks ago where they were down by 2-0 but came back to level the score. That was their only other time before the TFC2 game where they lost 3-2 that they dropped points. North Texas inching their way forward, trying to gain some territory, gain some possession. Eric Quill is normally used to his team playing with the ball, playing between the lines, interchanging with some great movement, but they barely had the ball thus far in this game. Troyer is fouled by Arturo Rodriguez, trying to lead 2 goals, 3 assists for the elder Rodriguez. Years old, scored the winning goal in one of the Dallas Cup finals recently. Gomez to take this throw in here on the left side. Plenty of games for U17, 15 years old, he's playing here in League One. Pretty incredible. A stumbling Demis is able to sort his feet, trying to run at his man, and he pulls his shot well wide. He's running at Thompson, had him backpedaling, but he hit that with the inside of his left foot, and it was never going to trouble Acura Fitzgerald. That was the first shot. For either team, we have not yet had a shot on target. As you can see, again, that possession stat, all Richmond basically. Will be surprised by that, considering Richmond want to have a lot of the ball, and when you play at home, you do normally get most of the ball, but North Texas SC have sat off a little bit, presumably to conserve a little energy after playing Wednesday. Very difficult travel week to go to Toronto and then to come here. For Richmond, they have plenty of energy in reserve. They haven't played in the last 10 days after their 3-2 loss at Orlando City B a week ago Wednesday. Thompson. It's asking a lot of chin. And Giotto wants to let this roll out, and he does. See a little bit of frustration from Guyardo, Jackson, and Chin thus far. They haven't been really able to get much into the game, and that's a good credit to this back line. Again, 15-year-old Jonathan Gomez at left back, and among others. Can't ask much more of a group that, again, for Eric Quill, the average age of the starting 11 on Wednesday was less than 19 years old, and they lead USL League One. It's incredibly impressive what they've been able to do in such a short period of time. And if you needed any more evidence that FC Dallas's academy is a production line, this Troyer now gets the throw-in, although it may have been whistled back for a free kick against Seeley, who's 16 years old himself, scrum of former FC Dallas man Scott Seeley, and it is pulled back for a free kick that Troyer will take. To the edge of the penalty area, knocked up by Hughes. And that's going to be a free kick against Maxi Rodriguez, going through the back of David Rodriguez. Very solid defending thus far from the young men from North Texas SC. They've been hard to break down at this point. Trying to build from the back once again. Nata, one from Czech club MSC Vyškov. He tries to go long here instead. Trying to pick out his man, and it comes through. Pepe just blasted that wide. Off a knockdown. I think some of the Richmond defenders thought there might be a free kick given in that. Let's take a look at that again. It's just one long ball out of the back from Jota. Two Richmond players collided. It came for Pepe, and he just sliced at it. Didn't hit it cleanly at all. You do not want to give him any chance at goal because he has proven already in his very short professional career that he'll make you pay for that. He also scored on Wednesday at Toronto FC2. Johnson wearing the captain's armband in the absence of Breck Evans, who is out injured for North Texas. Akwe looking long. Can he find the man is Chin, and that's ambitious from that sort of range, is never going to sit for Dennis Chin, the Jamaican. However, that took a deflection on the way through, and it is a corner for the Kickers. That's going to be the first kicker for either side thus far. Both teams resorting to going long. Decent knockdown by Boateng, and that did take a nick off the boots of one of the North Texas SC defenders. So Maxi Rodriguez, 9th game and start for him. He will take this, and Guyardo will let him do so. Former San Antonio FC player, Maxi Rodriguez. Played 20 minutes. We're still looking for a quality chance either way for these two seeds who both could score goals. Played it short to Guyardo, bringing in Thompson. Can he get a good left-footed delivery, and that's not what he was hoping for. Toro, the lone man back. Boateng won the second header. Now Akwe supports as well. And he was bundled over there by Arturo Rodriguez, but fairly, says the referee. Murillo, the oldest player in the squad at 23 years old, has to give up the throw there under the pressure here. From what we are seeing from Richmond, they are going to have most of the possession. Now can they change the dynamic to get some chances going forward? They, with their possession, have not done much as of yet. Only one shot thus far registered. This is going to be a throw-in for North Texas. Gomez to take this in. Playing in a professional soccer match at 15 years old. Has to be a thrill. Second start for Gomez. Not only does FC Dallas trust the youth, North Texas trusts the youth. And Eric Quill has been open about how much he loves working with this group and how much he loves watching them express themselves. That took a deflection off a couple of defenders and rolled kindly for Acura Fitzgerald, who has barely been troubled this evening thus far. Neither has his opposite number, Carlos Avila. Akwe under pressure, had to get rid. Stepping up is Murillo. Gomez. Trying to pick out Demis. Maxi Rodriguez got barreled through by Bissant, but no foul. Arturo Rodriguez blasts it well into the crowd. Ball bobbled on him just a little bit. That's the second shot for North Texas SC, and good header one there by Bissant. Arturo Rodriguez found himself in space, but maybe got a little overeager. Still a couple yards outside his penalty area, launches this forward. Chin trying to knock it down. Sealy plays it up the line, and there's a mistake. Magliez went to ground to try to get it. Pepe trying to squeeze that through for David Rodriguez. The combination didn't come off, and Richmond breathed a sigh of relief. Chin dispossessed. He also held the shirt of Arturo Rodriguez, and here he still comes. Arturo Rodriguez all the way. Couldn't get beyond Magliez. He still got a shot through, and Akwe dealt with that very calmly. That was all individual effort from Rodriguez. And clearance went off of Sealy, and Fitzgerald able to take the sting out of the ball. That was the best attack for either team thus far. See, just Chin double team, and Arturo Rodriguez does incredibly well to ride the challenge of somebody 12 years his senior, and then just ran out of real estate. In the end, Acua and Magliez did just about enough to put off Arturo Rodriguez, who's looking for his 3rd goal of the season. Magliez looking for Chin. The layoff was a poor one, but he's able to recover with David Rodriguez on his back shoulder. Troyer trying to get this in the path of Daniel Jackson, and he cannot get there ahead of Cesar Murillo. Good covering from the center back. Started in the FC Dallas Academy in 2011 and played in the College of Charleston. Coming back to North Texas SC and the FC Dallas club once more. As I said, only 3 shots total, none on target. Between these two teams that could score goals, plenty of them. Last game for each team ended 3-2, and this is a free kick for Richmond. Won by Guyardo. He and Maxi Rodriguez stand over this, and now it looks like it's going to be Guyardo to take this. It's a simple ball defeat. Aggressive challenge by Bissant, too aggressive in fact, from one of the Haitians in this group. 3 goals and 4 U20 caps for Bissant. He and Demis are both on the preliminary roster for Haiti for the Gold Cup that starts in a couple of weeks' time. Both could easily make it, as Demis has a couple of senior caps to his name as well. 3 in the wall for North Texas. Guyardo will take this. Guyardo trying to chip that towards the back post. It's knocked down, and Jackson's effort was blocked. And the flag's going to go up, I think, in the midst of all this. Yes, it was. And it was Acua who was standing in an offside position. Too far out for Guyardo to go for goal. And he was in an offside position. And that's been really a summarization of the attacking we've seen tonight. It hasn't been quite so smooth for either of these teams as of yet. 27th minute at City Stadium, still looking for a goal between Richmond and North Texas. Richmond kickers, after forcing the turnover, Boateng, he tried to test Avila from a long way out, and that didn't have much of a chance. You know, I'd be confident after having that 4-goal game against Virginia United in the U.S. Open Cup a couple of weeks ago. It was a crazy game. He's the first player since David Bullough scored 3 goals in a game in 2011 in the Open Cup. David Rodriguez, and that shot takes a deflection, and it's cut right to Sealy, who taps it into an open net. No one picked up the 16-year-old, and Dante Sealy has his first professional goal, and North Texas out of nothing has the lead. There was an overload on one side. No one picked up Dante Sealy ghosting in at the back post. It was once again a powerful run by a couple in the way, and that just took a deflection, and look at how easy that is for Dante Sealy. Demis was also integral in the setup, and North Texas SC in the 28th minute have the opening goal. They were down by 2-0 against TFC2 before clawing those 2 back. And Richmond also got up to a very slow start against Orlando City B as well, and now they have to climb out of a hole. And that's all this young group needs. Marcus Magliez will play it here for Fitzgerald. And I don't know what he was thinking about with that clearance. He was under pressure. He had more time, I think, than he thought, but now the kickers looked a little bit rattled. Possession about 62-38 in favor of the kickers, but they haven't really done anything with it. And for the one clear-cut chance that North Texas had that came off a fortunate bounce, they've taken advantage of it. In spite of the fact that North Texas played on Wednesday and they've had a lot of travel to deal with, they don't show any signs of fatigue at this moment. Adrenaline can often fuel you in these games, especially when you're playing as well as this young group is. Jada. David Rodriguez. Murillo. Gomez. And more good pressure on that press from North Texas SC. Room here for Ricardo Pepe. He's been held quiet thus far. He gets his shot in, and Fitzgerald had to tip it behind for the first North Texas SC corner of the evening. It's just Ricardo Pepe lowering his shoulder and charging ahead. He's got a lot of physical strength. He has plenty of tools, the 16-year-old. Wouldn't be surprised if he's not long for North Texas SC. Wouldn't be surprised if he's not too long for FC Dallas either. He's just taking on a bigger, stronger defender than Magliez, who did well to cut off the angle. Fitzgerald didn't want to tip that around the post to concede the corner, but he had to. And now David Rodriguez to take the corner as we've hit just about the half-hour mark. Rodriguez to swing this in with his left foot. Towards the near post, comes all the way through. It's a goal kick. I think it was Jada who slid in out of his center back spot. Pushed it wide, but now North Texas SC playing with a little bit more of a spring in their step now that they have the lead. Gomez. Jackson won that back fairly. Guyardo. And out for a throw. David Bulow trying to encourage his charges. They, in spite of their possession, started out pretty slowly. And for a team that started out the season slowly, didn't win their first three, then won 3 of 4 and have lost their last 2. Can Richmond do something with this? Here's Dennis Chin. Against Bonilla. Magliez trying to charge forward and take charge himself. And that went right into Sealy, the goal scorer. Arturo Rodriguez. It's a heavy first touch by Bonilla, and that's going to be out for a throw. Fans, follow the Richmond Kickers and the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN Plus, home to USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN Plus and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Akwe, under pressure, gives up the throw. North Texas SC has found their sea legs now. And this is now the 9th game for North Texas SC. This is the 7th time they have scored first, only against Lansing Ignite and against TFC2 on Wednesday have they failed to score first. Those are the 2 games in which they've dropped points. Avila's off his line. He rolls kindly into the penalty area, and he can claim it ahead of Boateng. Murillo. Arturo Rodriguez. Guyardo trying to pressure Murillo. Demis. A lot of strength there. Took down Hughes, and that's going to go against the Richmond midfielder, Josh Hughes. City Stadium not pleased with that. Here's another look at that. It's just a physical battle, and Demis got inside position. There on Josh Hughes. 27-year-old midfielder, formerly of Nashville SC. Look at how vocal Eric Quill is on the sidelines. Former MLS player in his day, has been involved in the FC Dallas Academy for many years. He's part of this group that has nurtured such a host of young talent. Now it's a matter of developing and turning it from prospects into pros. That pass through from Arturo Rodriguez's overhead. Do Richmond have resistance coming forward? They have just not had much at this moment. Outside of the possession. Texas now have 5 shots to 2 for the Kickers. And another poor giveaway out of the back under little pressure. Tracking back to win it is Bonilla, and it'll go to Jota. Guyardo giving him watch. For North Texas. They are winning all of the 50-50s in this game. Those physical battles that sometimes you don't necessarily expect young players like fill out this North Texas SC roster to have, and yet they've shown a lot of nous in this game, and that's what Eric Quill wants to see from his group, and he's seen it. Here's Chin, right in the challenge from Celia, wins free kick. What can the Kickers get to do to get a spark? See Rodriguez wearing the captain's armband. This team that scored goals late, sometimes it takes them a while to get into games. That certainly was the case against Orlando City B 10 days ago. Rodriguez, a couple of red shirts down, one of them was Boateng. The clearance was poor there from Bissant. Boy settles down the bouncing ball. Great sliding challenge there from Gomez. Not afraid of getting himself involved. The throw-in is now going the way of the visitors after David Bullo pled his case and didn't get the throw he wanted. 36th minute. Richmond Kickers 0, North Texas SC 1. Another free kick given against the Kickers, who are getting more and more frustrated. Don't think David Bullo is going to have a happy team talk with his group. Last time the Kickers scored a first half goal, they did score one with Eli Lockerbie, but they have really not scored many goals in the first half. They're a team that gets themselves into games, so they're going to be a threat late, especially as North Texas SC, you figure, might tire because of the travel and the games that they've played. A little bit of weary legs. But for now, that's little consolation to the Kickers, who have had very little going, as Chin is fouled in the center circle and wins a free kick. There's been indecisiveness in the final third from the Kickers. Not moving the ball around as quickly as I think David Bullo would like. Chin making the run. Challenge from Bonilla. And it just looks like every North Texas defender is a second or two quicker to every loose ball. And that's not what you would have expected. Again, considering not only Richmond at home, but they have the fresher legs. Maxi Rodriguez. Akwe has to deal with it. Troyer had to make up for Akwe being unable to deal with it. He'll step up. He's thinking about shooting here, Akwe. He'll go for the pass instead. Cross coming in is cleared away by resolute North Texas SC defense. Headed up by Bonilla. Down the line from Thompson. Bissant. Had it. Roll out. Well, they have the other ball. You could take the throw in here. It's actually still about 60-40 in favor of Richmond. In terms of aerial duels, Texas SC are winning more. And David Bullo is going to be frustrated with that. Eric Quill, meanwhile, has to be ecstatic with the way that his team has played. Even though they haven't had a lot of possession, they really haven't had many great chances, but they have the lead, and they've been a physically stronger team than you expect against a group of veterans like the Kickers. Rodriguez. Magliez. Hughes. This is better from Richmond. Boateng trying to turn, lost his footing. David Rodriguez, a super ball to find Pepe, and he's going to get there ahead of the Ghanaian Akwe. He's isolated at the moment. Pepe looking for support. That's great patience from a 16-year-old. Didn't rush anything. He hit a super ball for Bonilla. Bonilla gonna go beyond Chin, and he ran into Thompson. Boateng in trouble. Throw in here for the Kickers. And you can see just on that little reaction from Dennis Chin that he and his teammates are a frustrated group. This game's not going the way that they would have hoped. Kickers fans still in full voice. Play goes down the line. Maria with the header. Arturo Rodriguez moving in. Dispossessed by Troyer. He went to ground. Still, physical challenges being applied here by both sides, and Tasman Peralta has let a lot of it go. A cleanly played game thus far. Shots are back for Aviles. Thompson. Chin making the run. Chin trying to use his speed to get past Bonilla. Tried to lay it back, but Sealy tracked back incredibly well. And now Maxi Rodriguez. Maxi Rodriguez, that's a shot on target, but it took a deflection on the way, and it was very harmless for Aviles, who will take his time. A little glimmer opened up after this tough touch from Jota. And David Rodriguez and Maxi tried to tie his luck, but David recovered in time. '41st minute. Kickers still looking for a chance. North Texas SC looking to protect a goal-to-nil lead. Husseini Jota, the Gambian defender. Down the line. David Rodriguez will not get to that. Longest running lower league clubs in U.S. soccer, Richmond Kickers, starting a new journey in League One, trying to make it to the postseason. The difference between their league standing and the league standing of the team in 10th, which coming into the week was Forward Madison, was 3 points. Pepe trying to play this through. Demis is onside. Fitzgerald comes off his line and smothered the danger very well. Good goalkeeping from Acura Fitzgerald. That could have been 2-0. Meanwhile, heavy touch by Jackson allowed a chance for Bissant to recover. Doesn't take much for North Texas SC to develop an attack, and that one had some promise in it. Comes off a Richmond throw-in too. Watch how quickly the ball moves between throw-ins. It's off a little deflection, a little 1-2 with Pepe and Demis. They combined to score a goal on Wednesday, and Demis nearly had one. As Thompson comes back for the Kickers from his left back position, trying to spin away for pressure there from Sealy, who's had a great game at both ends of the pitch. Not just scoring the goal, but defensively he's done his task incredibly well, and still. That's the kind of frustration when you're facing a team that has its furthest forward players, Demis and Sealy, tracking back and making everything difficult for the forward-thinking Richmond players. This is a free kick against Jota as Boateng went to ground. And with 2 minutes to go, plus stoppage time until halftime, this is a chance for the Kickers to get something going. Both Guyardo and Maxi Rodriguez stand over this. It's about shade over 25 yards away. Both right-footed, both could easily go for goal here, but plenty of runs will be made towards the back post. And Aaron Cool has wanted his team to be stronger on set pieces this season, as it's going to be Guyardo to take this. Can Guyardo produce a moment of magic here? 4 on the wall in white, 1 in red. plenty of options to aim at, making the run towards the back post. Guyardo going for goal. He wasn't that far away, but he couldn't get it to go up and down the way he hoped. Shouldn't have too much stoppage time, if any, in the next minute. And North Texas SC will certainly be the happier of the two teams heading in to the halftime locker room. Thompson will play back to Fitzgerald, under pressure for Pepe. Launched long towards the center circle. Rio won the header. Thompson tracks it down. Rodriguez tried to go around the world that was dispossessed. And now it's Arturo Rodriguez trying to work through against Acua. Didn't clear it confidently at all. David Rodriguez for Arturo. David again lost out. Is this a chance for Richmond on the counter? Shin ran into a strong challenge from Jota. 1 minute of stoppage time is all we have in this first half. Guyardo goes down under the pressure from Bisson, but no foul. As we reach the end of the first half, game getting stretched just a little bit. Ricardo Pepe, who has had very few touches, and if you told David Bulow that, he would have been pleased. But it's the others, like Sealy, the Rodriguez brothers, and Demis, who have had the more telling touches tonight. Is there one more coming for the half? Arturo Rodriguez for Pepe. Laid back for Arturo. Demis, or his fellow Haitian Vicent. Gomez. Arturo. It's the layoff for Pepe. This is brilliant stuff. It's Arturo. Fitzgerald just got his hands to it in time. That is a beautiful move from North Texas SC. We've played the 1 minute of stoppage time. It's up to Jasmine Peralta to decide whether there's enough time to take this corner. That was beautiful football from North Texas SC. One touch, movement was beautiful. It's what Eric Quill was saying, how much talent these players have, the ideas they have, and the energy they bring. And it looks like there will be enough time for Arturo Rodriguez to take this. Last kick of the half, comes all the way through. Pepe couldn't get to it. It was enough of a challenge put on by Troyer. He went into it with Demis, and I think that's going to be a goal kick. It is, and that is going to be it for the first half. And it's one that North Texas SC, despite trailing in possession, have the lead by a goal to no courtesy of the 16-year-old Dante Sealy, who scored his first professional goal. A very frustrating first half for the home side, but they've been a second half team, and we will see what they can do. It is halftime at City Stadium. Richmond Kickers 0, North Texas SC 1. We will have the halftime report in just a moment here on ESPN+.
CBS 6 is a proud partner of the Richmond Kickers. For complete weather coverage, watch CBS 6 this morning with Nikki DeRay and Chief Meteorologist Zach Daniel, giving you an inside look at the weather every morning and night on CBS 6 News.
That I've ever done. I'm investigative reporter Laura French, and I'm working for you.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
Problem Solvers Investigations with Laura French. Problem Solvers Investigations with Melissa Hippolyte. Tuesday at 11 on CBS 6 News.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
And it is the halftime presented by Stonewall Sports. Richmond Kickers 0, North Texas SC 1 on this first Saturday night in June. It's been a frustrating half for the home side, for the visitors, who are coming off their first loss of the season. Not too bad at all for Eric Will and company. And speaking of coming off that first loss of the season, back on Wednesday, they played an entertaining game with Toronto FC2 at the BMO Training Ground. As we take a look at the highlights from the couple of games that led us into this weekend. And first up, you have this goal from Patrick Buck Anderson, the fullback. He's never going to score an easier goal in his life. Off of Avila's deflection, it's a great move. You have so many good young players, including Noble O'Kelly, who's just called into the 23-man squad for the Canadian team of the Gold Cup as Unc Anderson gets his goal in this. Here's Biku Bissant trying to build from the back. He's dispossessed by Jacob Schaffelberg, and then Matthew Serbel has a very easy task to make it 2-0. It was a very frustrating game for North Texas in that regard. They were pressed high. It was an interesting way that Toronto FC2 played, trying to set up an offside trap, but North Texas SC responded as they do, and this is Ricardo Pepe. You cannot give anybody this kind of space. Great ball through from Demis, and look at this. That's a 16-year-old finishing with that sort of confidence. That made it 2-1, and then into the second half we go, and how about Ronaldo Demis getting his goal? This is, of course, Arturo Rodriguez weaving through, and still, and look at the skill. Good save, though, from the TFC2 keeper, Pepe Silva, and then Demis just followed up and smashed it in. And that's just it's that predatory instinct you get from goal scorers, and Demis is certainly one of them. That was his third goal of the campaign. However, TFC2 would respond. Jacob Schaffelberg, who has been so good this season, and the goal scored by Tariq Mohammed on that little assist. Great little clever pass through, and TFC2 have won their first 2 home games, and that was the first loss for North Texas SC this season. And now to last night, this was a wild game between FC Tucson and Orlando City B. First up, how about this? A good save from Orlando City B's goalkeeper. That's the team that Richmond just lost to, and then this is a wicked hit off the bar as well. And then another one, this for Rafael. Great free kick. Watch this. Just bends that in towards the near post. Nothing Philip Egimano could do about that, and Orlando City B took the lead. Then, about in the second half, that's a funny deflection still. It comes kindly here as Orlando City B were just in trouble. And then Andrew Wheeler-Ominiu just heads it in. This was a wide open, wild game, and then more wildness. This is a header that comes in from Tyrone and put FC Tucson ahead 2-1. Then Orlando City B responded because this game didn't have much crazy, and then Phil Benjamin, I don't know what he's doing there, and Christopher Osei-Wusu, all he's got to do is tap that into an empty net to make it 2-2. I don't know what Phil Vegemata is doing there for FC Tucson, but Orlando City B will not mind that at all. It's been a struggle for Orlando City B all year, particularly on the road. And then here's a crazy moment at the end of this game. It's going to be smashed into the back of the net here by FC Tucson. Looked like they had the winner, except the referee and the linesman went and had a chat as all that was going on, and then they say the play was offside. So no winner for FC Tucson. They are frustrated, as they would be. And now we look at the schedule in the coming week. Friday, Orlando City B hosts Warren Madison. FC Tucson will be hosting the Richmond Kickers next Saturday at 10:30. Tormenta at Red Wolves should be a good one. And TFC2 will play Lansing Light next Saturday afternoon. And when we return, let's go see what's going on the rest around USL.
Statesboro, it's like this little oasis of a location.
I think Statesboro loves itself. It's the first thing I would say.
This is a win for the community. Not only are we getting a professional level soccer team, a sport that's loved around the world, but we are now creating an economic development area that's going to have a huge impact on our community and throughout this region.
Let's do it.
I'm not surprised, to be honest, that Tormenta was one of the first teams approached when League One came about. I think it was blatantly obvious to everyone that knew anything about American soccer that Tormenta was a force in League Two, and everything from top to bottom was done so professionally that I had a good year in college and I had some other looks, but for me, I wanted to be at Tormenta FC, and I knew there was 10 other guys coming back here that I knew were bought in and they have the same goals that I do.
This is the first step of a very, very, very long journey. This is a league match. We set some pretty lofty expectations for results this year, did we not? Yeah. Okay?
Getting here, okay, is a good place to be. And now, what you guys need to do is take it that one step further.
Family, boys! Family, 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 eh?
Yeah!
Into the box, a strike, and a goal. What a save for Brian Myers.
Back at City Stadium, Richmond 0, North Texas SC 1, presented by Stonewall Sports. Richmond Kickers looking to end their two-game losing streak. And let's take a look at what's going on around USL League One. Here's a couple of news and notes from around the league. Last unbeaten has fallen. That was North Texas SC to Toronto FC 2 on Wednesday. Ayman Zayed with that crazy goal against Greenville Triumph in stoppage time last week to put the Red Wolves into a 3-way tie for that playoff spot coming in the weekend. And Alex Mangels had 4 saves. He was the player of the week. It was a tough start for Red Wolves this season, but they were able to pick up pace just a little bit with that big win. And now let's take a look at the USL Team of the Week. You're going to see a couple of players from the North Texas SC group. David Rodriguez, the Demis of the others. A couple of others, the player of the week, of course, as we said, was Alex Mangels. A lot of good groups in this Team of the Week. There's so much talent in this league that comes to play every single week, including one of the players for Imanol Alnaguer for North Texas SC, who in this group. Well, now let's take a look at the power rankings. North Texas SC leads the pack. They were number 2 last week. They swapped spots with Tormenta. Richmond went down from 4th to 7th after the loss. They will have to try to find a way to make their way back up the table of this power rankings, and they need a win to do so. Can they get back in this game, or will North Texas SC hold on this number 1 spot in the league and the power rankings? We will find out as the second half is coming up in just a moment.
Slow you down. We go from 3 lanes just down to 2. So if you are heading downtown, make sure that you're using extreme caution. Jim!
Huh?
Hey, Jim!
Me?
Yes! Hey, are you looking for these?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Be careful heading down 64. Traffic is backed up.
I will. Thank you. She just talked to me on the TV.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
Most connected morning team to each other and Central Virginia. And it's a good thing they are. CBS 6 this morning.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
Welcome back to City Stadium. We're going to take a look at the highlights here as we get you set for the second half between Richmond Kickers and North Texas SC. It is a game that has been dominated possession by the home side, but they haven't been able to do much with it. Here's that from the long balls from the 19th minute. Charles Boateng trying to knock that down, and then Dennis Chin sailing that shot over the bar, though it did take a deflection. That's been kind of the story for the Richmond Kickers in this half, and that's been the story for North Texas. They've been winning those physical battles, and that's Arturo Rodriguez taking on Dennis Chin, going all the way in here against the defense of the Richmond Kickers of beating them, but he ran out of racetrack. And then this goal that's coming up shortly, Mendes was playing so well. This is, of course, David Rodriguez. Took a very kind deflection, but sometimes you make your own luck. And Dante Seeley, son of former MLSer and FC Dallas man Scott Seeley, gets his first career professional goal. The 16-year-old, he will never score an easier goal than that one. Just tapping that right in at the back post. And this was a chance for North Texas SC to make it 2. It was again the Rodriguezes who came in and combined. Look at that little touch from Pepe to Demis. Acura Fitzgerald with good goalkeeping to prevent that from being 2-0. And here is Joe Guyardo with a free kick just towards the end of the first half. He couldn't do much with it. I'm Matthew Aaron. Welcome back to City Stadium on Pride Night here in Richmond. The #1 team in USL League One. That would be North Texas SC. 6 wins, 1 loss, and a draw. Are on their way perhaps to 3 more points unless the Richmond Kickers could do something about it. One of the 4 teams that had the same record of 3 wins, 2 draws, and 4 losses as they try to get into the playoff picture. These games are so important right now, and of course only 4 teams make the playoffs, and it's a 28-game season, so we're already amazingly about a third of the way through. So there is a lot of work for both teams to do. For North Texas SC, it's a matter of can you see out a result, show that professionalism to see out a result, which they've been able to do. A lot of it at home, but they haven't been able to necessarily do it away from home. And for the Richmond Kickers, the question now is going to be, can they get out of the little rut that they're in? It's going to be a difficult task against this North Texas SC side that has been okay with giving up possession to the Kickers, who want it, but they haven't been able to do much with it. Teams have switched ends. Kickers in all red, white tops and red shorts for the visitors from North Texas. The Kickers have found a way to make good work late. They got a point late to salvage something against Lansing Ignite. They got those 2 goals late against FC Tucson a couple of weeks ago. Joe Guyardo scored in the second half against Chattanooga Red Wolves. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that the Kickers get better as the game goes on, and they will have to be with all the extra rest in their legs and against a North Texas team that is just coming off a game on Wednesday and a lot of travel. It's a tough test, and we will see whether David Bullo's men can pick up that assignment and pass it. We welcome those of you watching on ESPN Plus and also those of you watching on CBS 6 Extra in Richmond. Welcome on in. I'm Matthew Aaron again. As we begin the second half, Richmond Kickers 0, North Texas SC 1. Do the Kickers have a comeback in them? They've had before, and they've had some late goals as well. Do they have it again? Flicked on. Charles Boateng trying to get to this, but Avila is able to settle it down. Young goalkeeper. Called a couple of Mexico U20 camps. Carlos Avila's 7th start of the season for him. Here's Al-Husseini Jata. Big Gambian defender on loan from MFK Vyshkov. Now it comes all the way through. That nearly was the second goal, 30 seconds in for North Texas SC. The defense switched off completely. It was Demis who's had a couple of good chances. He's working his way more into the game now, the Haitian forward, and he nearly caught the Kickers asleep at the switch. 19-year-old Haitian Ronaldo Demis. As Maxi Rodriguez looking for Charles Boateng. Couldn't get underneath that cross. Bonilla did well defensively. Dennis Chin, the Jamaican and former USL Championship Golden Boot winner. Maxi Rodriguez might have a chance to shoot here. He does. Did that take a deflection? It did. It's corner for the Kickers, and they have their second of this game. Minute in. It comes right after they nearly give up the chance to Demis. Rodriguez given a lot of space, and that took a nick off Murillo. the elder statesman in this squad that is 23 years old. Maxi Rodriguez to take this. The Kickers are going to have to make work of these set pieces. They've not been able to do a ton from open play because there's been such great organization from North Texas SC defensively, and that's something you certainly want to see from a young team. They are well tactically drilled. Rodriguez towards the near post. It's a header in. And off the top of the head of somebody in that mix. It was a North Texas SC head. Akwe ran over quickly to take this. Former New York Red Bulls 2 defender, 22 years old. 61 appearances for Inter Allies FC in his native Ghana. And now Hughes, the Fort Worth, Texas native, formerly Nashville SC, will give it over to the longest tenured kicker, Braden Troyer. Hughes into the penalty area, ran into white shirts. Gets support here from Daniel Jackson, but a very frustrating evening for the Richmond number 9. Has to ride the challenge there of David Rodriguez and wins it back. Scott Thompson, the left back from Brick, New Jersey. From the Red Bulls homegrown player. And almost, Jada got punished for falling asleep. Maxi Rodriguez couldn't quite chase that down, but if he could, North Texas SC were exposed. Jada thought that was going to roll out for a goal kick. He got lucky there. Sometimes with young players like this, you have a moment or two where they could take their eyes off the ball, so to speak, and nearly cost them there. One of the few mistakes we've seen from North Texas, who've been so well drilled tonight, doing exactly what Eric Quill has asked them to do. Richmond coached by David Bullo, former player. He scored 35 goals as a Richmond kicker. Took over midway through last season when the Kickers won the championship. And who's this off of? As Seeley was making the run, goal kick. It's off of the goal scorer. Thompson got back and defended that well. And there's Acura Fitzgerald, who hasn't had a ton to do, but when he's been asked to make a couple of saves and a couple of important defensive stops, he's done that. That's exactly what you want from a veteran goalkeeper who has MLS experience, has plenty of experience in the championship, formerly of the North Carolina Railhawks, who are now named NCFC, of course. Former Wake Forest Demon Deacon as well. He'll be turning 32, I should say, in July. Both teams do not have players available because of the U.S. U20's excursions at the U20 World Cup. In Poland, they play their game against France in the round of 16 on Monday. Abubakar Keita on loan from Columbus Crew. Not available tonight for Richmond. Brandon Servania not available. Has a couple of games this season for North Texas SC. Talk about the young players on show. There's plenty of it. And a couple of representatives of the league. That is a horrible challenge from Seeley. I think Jasmine Peralta is going to have to go to her pocket here. What color is the card going to be? This should only be yellow. It is yellow for Seeley. This is a needless challenge. It's a forwards challenge. There's no reason to go in late like that against Thompson. And that's the first booking of the day. And Thompson is still down in a heap. He's back to his feet now. For all the good that Dante Seeley has done in this game, that was needless. Sometimes you get that with young players. It's a matter of consistency. And we've seen so many of these young players be incredibly consistent for North Texas SC, but you get those moments here and there where that consistency can fade. It's youth and inexperience that does that sometimes. Thompson looks okay. What can Richmond do to change up this attack? They have to move the ball quicker. They need to get more of Guyardo involved, and they need to find a way, I think, to bring in Charles Boateng as well. They are missing Matt Bolduc, who leads USL League One in assists. Has 4 of them, not starting today. I think some of that creativity not there. Agli has overstepped the ball under pressure from Arturo Rodriguez, and he recovers. Spent time on the books at RGV. Here's Chin in space, Jamaican. Thompson. Not a bad cross, but it's too close to Avila, who was able to catch it. Had a couple of red shirts making that run towards the 6-yard box, but the cross was too close to the goalkeeper. There needs to be more of this from the Richmond Kickers. We just haven't seen it. Thompson's had a lot of chances to put in good service. That was one of his better deliveries, but still not quite up to his standard, I'd say. Good work by Chin. Won that back fairly. Can get it through a line of white shirts. He's won a free kick, though. That was Arturo Rodriguez complaining to Edward Peralta that he had his shirt pulled, and she did not agree. Braden Troyer, over 100 appearances for Richmond Kickers. So much transition. This group, David Bullough was telling us, it's all basically a new team, in spite of the fact that it's got an old name and so many players have moved on. A couple. Scott Thompson being one. Of course, you also have Troyer. Connor Shinosky, who's on the bench, are longer-term kickers. But from what happened last year to this, you definitely want a reset, and I think that's what the Kickers have had. Consistency just not quite there yet for this new group, and David Bullough is still trying to get to know a lot of his players, trying to find the way. As Fitzgerald launches that out under good pressure from the North Texas high press. Still trying to know his team and know that style of play. This time Arturo Rodriguez wins the free kick. 54th minute, Kickers 0, North Texas SC 1. The first of 3 meetings. They will meet again in July here at City Stadium. They will play in September down at Toyota Stadium, where North Texas SC has been utterly dominant. The problem, though, is that they don't have a lot of. This is in the midst of a stretch of a 4-game road trip. They go back to TFC2 and then will go up to Breese-Stevens Field to play for Madison. Then they will begin a 3-game stretch at home once again, North Texas, where they have won all 5 of their games. The 15-year-old Jonathan Gomez could not keep that in. That's a goal kick for Fitzgerald. Boateng, can he get the turn here? He can. Good strength from the Ghanaian Charles Boateng. He's pulled back too by Jota. He's got to be booked for that. Free kick's been given. Now the question is, will the North Texas SC captain be booked? Based on the reaction from Josh Hughes, I don't think he has been. Boateng just got a little bit better of the big Gambian center back there, and that's definitely a foul. You could argue there's a booking there. On second look, maybe not, but he is booked. And that's the second North Texas SC player booked in this second half. On initial glance, it certainly looked like Chada was pulling back Boateng, and he knew exactly what he was doing. Chada pleads his case, but not one that he will win. It's going to be a tougher angle here for Maxi Rodriguez to try to swing this in. Jasmine Peralta trying to get the bookkeeping details of this taken care of, which she is doing well. This has been a pretty easy game to officiate. Not a lot of bad challenges, not a lot of chippiness. There's been a lot of physical play, but she's let a lot of it go. And now she has shown 2 yellow cards to Sealy and Jota here in the second half. Kickers need something. Will they get something here? Rodriguez. That's good service. Comes all the way through, but no one can get a telling touch to it, and it's a goal kick. I think that was Akwe coming in at the back post, collided with Aviles, who is still down in the 6-yard box. This is a really good ball whipped in there by Rodriguez. All it needs is a touch, and Aviles is in trouble. A little bit slow to get up, but I think Aviles is all right. He is 20 years old. First homegrown player to sign a USL contract when FC Dallas was affiliated with OKC Energy back in 2017. So many of these players have been in the FC Dallas Academy setup for the best part of a decade. So the familiarity is already there, and that's an advantage in a league where so much changes, it seems, so often. And of course, for North Texas SC, it's a matter of the squad that they have. What can they bring each and every day, not just to training, but to games? It changes weekly. They've got some guys on FC Dallas that could end up getting there, but FC Dallas, who is playing tonight against the Sounders, have had a lot of national call-ups and injuries, so they're not particularly deep at the moment, so that thins the player pool. One of the players who is always good for North Texas SC is Ricardo Pepe. That shot was blocked. Good closing down there from the Richmond defense. All the way back, that's a lot for Troyer to do. On the back pass from Daniel Jackson, who's had a very rough night tonight. North Texas SC trying to pile on the pressure. Shots are now even at 6 apiece, 2 on target for North Texas SC, but they've had the far better of the chances. 5 of the chances in terms of shots for the kickers have been outside the box. Jonathan Gomez's cross on the deck. Cleared away, back from whence it came. Matthew Aaron with you on this Pride night from City Stadium. Kickers 0, North Texas SC 1. First meeting between the two. Kickers trying to muscle their way back into playoff positioning. North Texas SC trying to continue their lead. Biku Bisson running through. That took a deflection. That's corner. Third corner is again just cheaply given away by Jackson, and Bisson steps up. The space closed down quickly. May have waited a split second too long to take his shot, but he wanted to steam a corner out of it. Here's Arturo Rodriguez. 9th game, 9th start. Played and started every game with very little consistency for North Texas SC. He's been one of the few that has been consistent. He will deliver this corner with his right foot. Fitzgerald does get 2 hands to it. Headed up and away by Chin. Tries to launch the counterattack away for Boateng. Get to this. No, he cannot. Gomez is back defensively. The youngest player on the pitch, only 15 years old. As we are going to see our first change of the night. And that is going to be the end of the night for Daniel Jackson. It's been a very frustrating evening for him, and he's going to be replaced by the Zambian Mutaya Mwape. Goal and assist to his name this season, his 7th appearance of the season. And it is the 5th time that Jackson has been subbed out this season. It was a very frustrating night for him. And Mwape, who has quite a bit of speed in his legs, some creativity and some drive, and that's certainly what the kickers need in attack. So the first card played by David Bulow. Will his team respond? Here is Mwape on the ball now. Mutaya Mwape trying to cut into his left foot. Showed too much of it to the North Texas SC defense. Chin couldn't touch it, otherwise he would have been offside, and Avila gathers. Formerly, Mutaya Mwape of Charlotte Independence and Lindsey Wilson College. Free kick for North Texas SC as we have reached the hour mark. Dante Seeley's first professional goal, the only goal we have thus far. It's been the best chance of the night in a game that's had fewer chances than we expected. But as the game wears on, you think the kickers are going to have to open up to try to chase an equalizer, and that'll give North Texas SC a chance on the counter. Here they come again. Almost Pepe was able to get to that. Not taking a nick off of the kicker. Troyer got red. Hooked ahead by Thompson. That's off of Chin. It's going to be a throw-in for the kickers. Actually took a nick off of North Texas as defender. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth program, USL Academy. This allowed clubs at all levels across USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. When you talk about academies, you've got one in North Texas SC from FC Dallas that produces talent everywhere. Gomez will throw this in. Good to see so many USL clubs getting into developing players. There's so many players across this big country of ours. There's always going to be bound to be a few that slip through the net of MLS teams. They can't get them all. We're happy to have that. USL Academy Cup is looking forward to that soon. Jota for Arturo Rodriguez. Trouble playing out for the back for North Texas. Here's Maxi Rodriguez. Good drag back around David Rodriguez. Down goes Guyardo in the penalty area. There's not much in that challenge. Jasmine Peralta saw nothing wrong with it. The referees in the stands disagreed. The Kickers have a spring in their step. Haven't been quite as smooth as they would have wanted to be on terms of not just passing, but their movement's not been as sharp as you think. Maybe a little bit is rust. Now, David Bullough did give his team a couple of days off after their loss at Orlando City V before this game. And sometimes rust can become a factor in situations like this, and it looks like the Kickers might be a little bit rusty. Here's Ricardo Pepe. He has a chance to shoot. Pepe in for his 7th goal of the season. A brilliant strike from Ricardo Pepe, bar down, and North Texas SC are 2 to the good. Given away from the back, and you cannot give that man any iota of space because he's going to do that. Looked like Magliez had this under control. Asking a lot of Josh Hughes. It was a heavy first touch. And then watch Pepe. Look at the space he has. Good chance for Fitzgerald. He got a hand to it, but nothing was stopping that shot. And that's going to be the end of the night for Dennis Chin as well. And number 97, Lucas Mendes, has come in as well as a second change. Mendes was formerly of the DC United Academy. Played with the New York Cosmos. He's also been U.S. U18 and U20 international. He's in now as a second change. As there's Ricardo Pepe, who just continues to score goals. That's his 7th of the season. The more he scores like that, there's no doubt that he has an opportunity to go very far in his career. We are also going to see a change for North Texas SC. Ronaldo Demis, the Haitian's going to come out. And number 45, Tanner Tessman, is going to come in. Tessman, 17 years old, and he doesn't look it at all. Scored his first professional goal against OCB back on May the 11th. So it's a change for each team as down goes Hughes at the edge of the penalty area, the center circle. Richmond just haven't been anywhere near close enough to the penalty area all night to really trouble North Texas SC, who are well on their way to their 7th win of the season. And you know Eric Quill, based on our chat with him, I think this might be the best performance of North Texas SC. He might think so. The way they've played very professionally, very calm and composed, and the Kickers just look rusty. They don't look like they're in sync at all. And North Texas SC have taken advantage, and now this could get worse. Akwe's got to get back against Pepe. He's looking for his second. Fitzgerald tips it around the post. That almost went in anyway. Ricardo Pepe in such a rich vein of form. He'll take his chances from just about anywhere. And it's one ball. And look at that ball from Dante Sealy. Akwe looked like he did enough to close down the angle. Fitzgerald made a save and just got enough of it to keep it from going inside for that second goal for Pepe tonight. A third goal would just about be curtains. Arturo Rodriguez headed up by a Richmond defender. A little bit of room here for Mwape, and was he fouled? Yes, he was. Jasmine Peralta was looking to see if there was going to be an advantage played, and there was not. And a tough evening for David Bullough and the Richmond Kickers. And in a league where there is almost no separation between teams in the playoffs and the teams all the way down at the bottom of the table, mistakes like that can't happen. And North Texas SC are going to be the first team in USL League One to broach 20 points. They're going to be on 22 if this holds, and they will end the week in first. The only other team that could have passed them was Tormenta if they won and North Texas SC dropped points, but doesn't look like either of those things are going to happen tonight. Charles Boateng against Jota, who is on a yellow card. Boateng with good pressure. Did that go out? did. It's corner for the Kickers. And they're going to need to make one of these moments count. Richmond went their first 3 games of the season without a win, then went 4 unbeaten, and now we're looking at 3 straight losses. It's going to be Maxi Rodriguez to take this. And he's going to hit this all the way back. One of his defenders at Thompson. Going to get a left-footed service towards the back post. It's headed up. Still not dealt with by North Texas. They see him. Wape tried to hit it, took a deflection off a teammate, and it's a goal kick. And that's indicative of the night that the Kickers have had going forward. The Kickers did lose 7 straight games to end last season in the championship. Finished 1 from bottom in the championship last year. That was the last time that they had lost 3 in a row. Here's Tanner Tessman. First touch for the 17-year-old. Pepe trying to make that run in behind Maglias, who's had a tough night dealing with it. He didn't clear that well at all. All the way through. Could be a third, should be a third, is a third. North Texas SC are running riot, and it's David Rodriguez who gets his 2nd goal of the season. North Texas SC are a good enough team to create these chances on their own. They don't need gifts handed to them, and they've had a couple in this 2nd half. 6th appearance, 6th start for David Rodriguez, and he takes advantage. And again, 1 ball chipped through from Tessman. There's just not enough pressure on the ball from the defenders. Certainly Maglias should have done better with this. Dante Sealy crossing it into a dangerous area, and easy finish for David Rodriguez. 3-0 North Texas SC. And down goes Guyardo in the midst of all that. A free kick. The younger Rodriguez gets in here. After it's been the elder Rodriguez who's had more of the goal scoring in the first 8 games of the North Texas SC season. And this is going to be a tough week of training, you think, for Richmond Kickers. Not only do they have a loss, they've got the longest trip in League One coming up. As Troyer has given away the free kick there against Arturo Rodriguez, as they will head to FC Tucson next week. And North Texas SC, after a busy period of fixtures, are going to get a little bit of time off before they head back to Toronto FC2, and that comes up on June the 12th. North Texas SC won 4-1 over Orlando City B back on May the 11th. That was at home and against a different kind of opposition. This is by far and away the most impressive North Texas SC has been all season. And this is a team that had only lost once and dropped points twice in its first 8 games. And again, the average age of the 18 for this group is under 20 every night, and the average age of the 11 against Toronto FC2 was less than 19 years old. They're starting a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old in Dante Sealy, and another 16-year-old in Ricardo Pepe, and it hasn't mattered. This team has taken USL League One by storm, and they have really impressed. And if you're an FC Dallas fan, and you know the big club's in a bit of a tough spot right now, you know that if you look down, your academy continues to produce a ton of incredibly talented players, and not only that, they're creating impacts, and some of them you're going to be seeing play for FC Dallas very, very soon. Number 9 is one of them, Ricardo Pepe. This is Tessman. Jonathan Gomez. Harry really hasn't looked out of place, even though he's the youngest player on the pitch. Trying to get beyond Maxi Rodriguez. Now Arturo Rodriguez. Pepe with the turn. The give back for Pepe was overhit. Allows Troyer a chance to recover, and he'll let that run out. North Texas SC scored 2 goals in each of their last 2 road games. They scored 1 in a win at Greenville Triumph, and now they have their first 3-goal game away from Toyota Stadium. Murillo, he's in trouble. He just got his balance back to play it back to his goalkeeper, Aviles. Mwape with the header. It's a big challenge from Arturo Rodriguez, and the other aspect of this game that's been so impressive from North Texas SC's perspective is they've won so many of the duels. The 50-50s, they've been a physically strong team, they've been an intelligent team. And again, these are not players who have had a ton of experience. And again, 5 shots on target compared to 1 for Richmond. This is a Richmond team that's got plenty of experience, plenty of nous at the lower leagues, and they've had big, big trouble in dealing with tonight. The Richmond Kickers supporters are making good voice all night as they have been, but they don't have much to cheer about. Murillo back for Carlos Aviles, who has barely been tested, although he hits that into the stands. And we're going to have the third and final sub coming in for the Kickers, and it is going to be Yannick Eckenrode, who's going to come in, and he is going to replace Josh Hughes.
Departing the match, number 7, Josh Hughes.
For Eckenrode, this is his 4th appearance of the season, 3rd off the bench. Eckenrode was last playing in the Danish 2nd tier, 23-year-old. Here's Maxi Rodriguez trying to step over, and he ran into Bisson, who has been a bulldog at central midfield. Still 2 subs remaining for North Texas, should they wish to use them. Still, they keep coming. There was no quit in this group at all. Going to be one of those nights for David Bullough and the Kickers. Based on the way the rest of the league is going, they might not fall too far in the standings, though. This is certainly going to be a loss that will sting. And for North Texas FC, if they needed any more evidence to prove that they are the best team in USL League One, this is as good of evidence as you need. It's one thing to play as well as they have done at home at Toyota Stadium in a very difficult environment to play it because of the heat and humidity, but to go on the road in a difficult environment that is City Stadium, a great supporters group, one of the longest standing lower league clubs in U.S. soccer, and to not just win, but to win comprehensively is incredibly impressive for this group. There will be nights like this in League One, in a league with so much parity, but for the Kickers, hey, you're going to have to swallow this tough pill. Now it's looking for consolation. Here's Lucas Mendes. He's been really in the game all that much since he's come on, and another great challenge out of the back. That's Kevin Bonilla, and look at this. Pepe's on side again. Pepe 1v1 against Aqua. He's gotten through one, but there's enough time to recover there. As Pepe still taking to his task against the Richmond Kickers defense. That was Magliez, who's just been hounded by Pepe all night. Mwape gives it away. Here's Pepe. Can he find a second? Still going Ricardo Pepe. And still no penalty, says Jasmine Peralta. That was a tough decision. Kickers got away with one. Could have easily been 4, but Ricardo Pepe decided to be unselfish. He's 16 years old. Only old enough to have a provisional driving license in Texas, and yet he's doing what he's doing in a league of professional athletes. He's going to be a part of that US U17 team that goes to the World Cup in Brazil, and he is not long for North Texas SC. We don't say that in a bad way, because FC Dallas and Luchi Gonzalez, who has been such a huge part of the development of so many of these players, is going to want him. And now we're going to see Gibran Rayo make his 5th appearance of the season, and he is going to replace the first goal scorer of the night, Dante Seeley.
North Texas substitution leading the match, number 31, Dante Seeley. Entering the game, number 39, Gibran Rayo.
17 years old. Started 10 of 17 games for the U19s for FC Dallas. And here is Arturo Rodriguez showing the skills. And float that one towards the edge of the penalty area. Bisson for Tessman. Kevin Bonilla. North Texas SC are not stopping in their search for a 4th goal tonight. And still on they go. This time the Kickers do win one of those battles that they've rarely won. Boateng trying to put the pressure on, and it's going to be a North Texas SC throw. So next up for the Kickers, they will go to FC Tucson next week. They'll be back home 2 weeks from now against Chattanooga Red Wolves, then away to Tormenta, and then the Red Wolves once more. CBS 6 Extra will have the game against FC Tucson for you next week as well. Hope you tune us in there, and for the Kickers, they have to hope that they're going to get a better result. Going all the way to Tucson's difficult, but no team in USL League One is quite like playing North Texas SC. First time that the two best teams in League One will meet. That'll be Tormenta and North Texas SC, a game that you should absolutely be waiting on pins and needles for. Is July the 20th. There's 2 games between those two at Toyota Stadium and 1 in Statesboro. Those teams are right now the 2 best in this league, and there is not much of a debate, but the separation between 3 and 10 is not very large. So the Kickers, even though this is a tough loss, in their 10th game, they still have a lot of time to recover, but this is going to be a loss where there's going to be a lot of teaching done by David Bullo. You can tell that he's enjoying the task of trying to build this club back up again. Former long-serving steward for the club as a player, now trying to do it as a coach. But this is going to be a tough task. Well, here, Mwape might have a chance to get one back for the Kickers. Chip towards the back post, that's Boateng. And signals got crossed between some of the forwards for Richmond Kickers, and they're offside anyway. And that gives you an idea of the night that the Kickers have had going forward. In spite of the fact that they have had about 58% of the possession, they've been outshot 12-7, 5 of those shots on target for North Texas SC, 5 of the shots outside the box for the Kickers. They just have not been able to generate any meaningful attacks, and that is a North Texas SC defense that has been almost as good as its attack, but more unheralded, because defenders sometimes just don't get the credit that they deserve when you watch your teammates score a bag load of goals at the other end. Incidentally, the FC Dallas Sounders game hasn't started yet because it's in a weather delay. So if you are waiting for that game, welcome on in. North Texas SC has been putting Richmond Kickers to the sword tonight. Lucas Mendes trying to get on his right foot. He's got options here in the form of Guyardo. Guyardo into the penalty area. Couldn't quite sort out his feet, but he's still going. Wicked cross. Turned away by Avila. North Texas SC do enough to clear their lines, and now the counter could be on. Here's Arturo Rodriguez, ran into Troyer. Akwe goes to ground, wins the ball ahead of Ricardo Pepe. And the danger passes for now. Not a lot going on for Richmond Kickers in terms of attack, but Lucas Mendes is one who is trying to generate something here. Guyardo trying to do it all himself, the leading goal scorer of the team, 4 goals. Incredibly talented. It's a good leg save from Aviles. But he's been held almost entirely in check tonight. And there is a very late challenge on Bisson. That should produce a yellow card for Guyardo. Bisson is doubled over in pain. Well, his teammates tend to be Bisson. We're waiting to see the color of the card. And it was yellow to Guyardo. No surprise that third player booked tonight, first kicker booked. And after that attack went to nothing, there is no need for Guyardo to make this challenge. He's never going to win the ball, especially not going to win the ball through a midfield like Bisson. He's been incredibly impressive too, by the way. Biku Bisson. Haitian midfielder. For a team with so many players of finesse, of skill, you sometimes need a dogged midfielder who is going to get, for lack of a better phrase, stuck in and win those challenges and transition the ball from defense to attack. And Bisson has done that so incredibly well tonight. unheralded performance from him, and he's not necessarily going to get the plaudits that some of the others are going to. Certainly Ricardo Pepe, David Rodriguez among others. Arturo Rodriguez skips by a challenge here, trying to get positioning on Akwe, looking for Gibran Rayo, but before that it's pulled back for a free kick. And this is a chance for North Texas to add a cherry on top. Akwe's frustrated. Played and started all but one game, and now Arturo Rodriguez and Akwe getting into it. A little bit of afters. And it's the elder statesman Murillo who tries to settle down Arturo Rodriguez. Murillo, the oldest player on the North Texas SC roster, at 23 years old. Truly incredible. Even when you take in some of the FC Dallas loanees, he's the oldest player in this group. Akwe getting a final warning from Jasmine Peralta. He's officiated this game incredibly well tonight. And so it's going to be who's going to take this for North Texas, and plenty of options. This is in a great position. And it looks like it's going to be either Tessman or David Rodriguez. I thought Pepe might go take this, considering the goal scoring form he's in. David Rodriguez already has a goal tonight. Tessman looking for his second of his professional career. Who will take it? David Rodriguez into the wall. Didn't get any elevation on it. Jota dispossessed, and now could be trouble, but the ball bounced kindly for Jota to recover. Mwape trying to use his legs to create that pressure. Here's Guyardo. He's got a little bit of space here. Gonna have a shot from way out. Punched out by Avila as it was hit right at him. That's only the second shot on target tonight for the Kickers. And it comes from by Guyardo with a little bit of frustration. Trying to blast one in from about 30 yards out, and that was never going to trouble Aviles, who has been largely a spectator in this game tonight. So North Texas SC have led the table from the word go this USL League One season, are going to stay atop the table as this week comes to an end. And they will have a chance to recalibrate and catch their breath just a little bit. But what kind of squad will they have after that? Of course, we said Demis and Bisant could both be Haiti bound for the Gold Cup, and the way that they've played, you wouldn't be surprised if Mark Kolot took them both. And the Kickers, they gotta have to regroup and regroup fast for their trip. As Mwape's shot takes a big deflection. Who's gonna get there first, Aviles or Troyer? Now, it's going to be whistle given against Troyer as Aviles got the worst of it. And there's not a lot of need for time wasting here. The game's result not in doubt any longer, but he tries to walk it off. A couple of the FC Dallas group have played in goal this season. Jimmy Maurer and Kyle Zobek both have had a game for North Texas SC. It's Aviles' net, and tonight, he really hasn't had to prove all that much. He's barely been tested. Off top of the head of Akwe. Could be more on here. David Rodriguez again. Sailed over the crossbar. David Rodriguez is feeling it. He already has a goal. Looking for a second tonight. Didn't get the right elevation on the shot. Tough angle, too, for a left-footed shot to come in. That sort of range. And now for the Kickers, it's about spoiling the clean sheet. They've made a lot of their own problems tonight. As Yannick Eckenrode wins the free kick. The two goals in the second half just came off mistakes, came off giveaways. And it was good finishing from North Texas SC to punish them. And there could be another. Well, instead, it's going to be a free kick as Rodriguez was bundled over. And we are about to see the final change for North Texas SC coming in just a moment or so. They only came in with 4 outfield players on the bench. Kyle and Tessman were the two that have come in. We'll see who's going to be that last change. Guyardo. He's looking cross. Avila gets to it, but he's fumbled it, and he was fouled in the build-up by Boateng. And he's still down in the heap. For not having to face too many difficult shots tonight, he's certainly been on the wrong end of a couple of challenges tonight as well. And Charles Boateng was also given a yellow card for this late go at it. I don't really know why. He has every right to go for that ball. Maybe that's just a yellow card to stop the kickers continuing to go after those second balls against Avila's like this. Now, he is shaken. Avila should be all right to continue. But for North Texas SC, you come on the road in any league and you win 3-0, it's incredibly impressive. Especially for a group like this, so young, so talented, but now they're starting, I guess, to feel some of that pressure of what does expectation bring? What does these results mean in terms of what people expect to see in the North Texas SC group? But tonight, it wasn't just the skill, the beautiful attacking play that we've seen, it's the nous. It's the ability to win 50-50 balls. It's the ability to win those physical one-on-one battles. It's the ability to make decisions. All of those things were what Carlos Aviles and his group had to do. It's what Eric Quill asked them to do, and it's what they've done tonight. And Eric Quill will probably tell you that's the best game that his team has played thus far this season, in a season where they have blown some teams out.
Leaving the match number 6, entering the game number 5, Hector Montalvo.
And Hector Montalvo, young defender, is going to replace Al-Husseini Jata. Montalvo, 21 years old, part of a U18 Academy team that won USSDA championships in 2016. He played 1 season at Grand Canyon. He played for Tigres' U20 team. That's a lot of talent to run off of you when you're training at the same place as Andre Pierre Gignac, among many other incredible players that play for the team that just won the Clausura in Liga MX. Couldn't win CCL, though, against their city rivals Monterrey, though they did get past Monterrey in the semifinals of the Liguilla. First appearance for Montalvo, 21 years old. So Montalvo and Murillo now at center back is going to raise the average age of the players that played tonight quite a bit, considering they're over 20. There aren't many of those in this North Texas SC group. And for the kickers, back to the drawing board for David Bullough and company. They've had the possession, but they haven't really generated much with it. They need to do better attacking-wise. They need to move the ball a little bit quicker, and you're going to see some changes. And the loss of Matt Bolduc certainly showed tonight. His creativity in midfield. He was a player that David Bullough was talking about with us when we were preparing for this game. And that's really cheaply given away to Arturo Rodriguez. And without Bolduc, this team just hasn't had the creativity to break lines the way that they would have wanted to and the way that they would have expected to. The North Texas SC, in terms of keeping clean sheets, they haven't done it since the game against Greenville Triumph a month ago. We have 4 minutes of stoppage time as well. That was the stretch, that Greenville game, of 3 straight clean sheets, 3 straight goal-to-nil victories, but this, arguably the most impressive performance for a team that's impressed every time they've taken the pitch, and they've responded to a loss incredibly well. Sometimes, as coaches will tell you, you don't learn a lot when you win. You learn a lot more when you lose. And for North Texas SC, it's the first time they've lost, and the response to playing on a short week in a difficult environment, they even had some travel difficulties getting from Toronto to Richmond. They showed quite a lot tonight why this team is probably the favorite right now in League One to hoist the inaugural championship. There's a long way to go. We're only in the month of June, but they have impressed. Every time they've been asked questions, they've answered them emphatically. Here's Akwe, he's offside. And another indicator of a night that's gone horribly wrong for the kickers, your center back should not be offside in that position. These teams will next play July 13th here at City Stadium. Long time to wait for some revenge, perhaps. And then they will play in Frisco on September 10th. Free kick. Go against North Texas. That was Tessman. Fans have made a good noise, good crowd tonight at City Stadium, as there always is. But they're going to be going home unhappy. Troyer to throw this in. One last chance perhaps for a consolation goal for the Kickers. Crossed by Troyer. Knocked down. Wape went over, it looked like, but no free kick given. And now, here's the counterattack on, and that is going to be a yellow card for Braden Troyer. Excuse me, that's going to be Thompson, I beg your pardon. And that's 3 yellow cards on the Kickers now in the second half. Thompson knows exactly what he's doing there. One minute of stoppage time left. This has been a game dominated by the visitors, and they've done so in spectacular fashion. The league leaders are going to still be league leaders when the night is out on 22 points, 7 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, 3 wins, 5 losses, and 2 draws for Richmond. We're also going to see their 4-match home unbeaten streak come to an end. It's their first home loss since they lost on the opening day to Lansing Ignite. As North Texas going to get a 4th here before the game's out. They might. That shot went just wide. They have not taken their foot off the gas, North Texas SC, at all, despite the fact that this game's result was no longer in doubt quite a while ago. Tessman charging ahead. I think he thought about shooting here. Now he tried to pull back to shoot. Still going Tanner Tessman. Comes for Pepe. Fitzgerald makes the save. David Rodriguez will try to track it down. We've had the 4 minutes. Shouldn't be much more left. All eyes on Jasmine Peralta. And that's it. All North Texas SC. The league leaders come into City Stadium and unleash a furious attack to win by 3-0. And Eric Quill with the big win over David Bullough in the first meeting of these two sides. North Texas SC with their 7th win of the season and arguably the most impressive, and he has a lot of work to do, David Bullough, and that expression says it all.
It's Summerfest presented by Bounce the Moon at City Stadium Saturday, June 15th. Enjoy inflatables, water slides, and more, plus happy hour specials and live music.
We will be back to wrap things up in just a moment or so. Good to see the sportsmanship for these two groups of players, Aquay and Rodriguez. They had some battles tonight, but it all went the way of the visitors. Full time from City Stadium, Richmond Kickers 0, North Texas SC 3.
Faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
It's not just Zach's daydream. For the most epic weather coverage in Central Virginia, trust the CBS 6 Weather Authority.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
joyful,
authentic,
united,
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
still the Richmond Kickers.
Back at City Stadium, it was Pride Night. It was a good celebration of that, but not a celebration of the Kickers, who fell by 3-0 to North Texas SC. The Richmond Kickers fans made a great noise all night, but not much they could do to stop the North Texas SC onslaught. Let's take a look at some highlights from this game, and they are one-sided, mostly for the visitors, who played one of their best games of this campaign. Here's the first goal. Ronaldo Demis. It's a couple of handicaps. Could have a couple more coming up, and this was just a krantz that came off a deflection and it came right to Dante Seeley, the 16-year-old with his first professional goal, one of the youngest players to ever sign for FC Dallas, and he gets an easy goal right at the back post. And now for more of North Texas SC, and this Ricardo Pepe shot. Look at the venom on it. Nothing Acura Fitzgerald could do. He tipped it onto the crossbar, he couldn't keep it out, and Pepe scores his 7th of the year. He's still scoring more than a goal a game for North Texas SC. And then one more, and with good feeling, it's just defensively, mistakes were made constantly. It was given away quite cheaply to Seeley, who gets an assist and finds David Rodriguez for his second goal, and that was the exclamation point on a great night for the visitors from North Texas SC. And how about one highlight for the Kickers? They needed something, and it comes here. It was a 15-year-old Jonathan Gomez trying to set that up, and this was Ricardo Pepe just not getting onto the end of that. And that was one of the few times the attack didn't connect for the Kickers tonight. Here are the stats: 15 shots, 6 of them on target, and though Richmond had 57% of the possession, they did very, very little with it. And I don't think the possession stats are really indicative of how this game went. It was all North Texas SC. The Kickers had 10 shots, but only 3 of them on target. Very few really quality chances. And now, that's it for us from Richmond. It's been all North Texas SC. The league leaders continue to climb the table and continue to show they're not just a bunch of kids with talent. They are a team, and a team to be reckoned with in USL League One. I'm Matthew Aaron for our entire crew. Thank you very much for joining us here. We hope to see you next week for more USL League One action. For all of us here, good night. We will see you next week. Richmond 0, North Texas SC 3.
This copy telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.